It's in my genes, Hillary Brown said when asked what gave her the inner drive to help needy children. Hillary and her good friend Doria Gladhill founded Helping Orphans Worldwide, or HOW, in 2007. Their first goal was to create a transparent organization run by dedicated volunteers who shared a passion for helping children in dire situations. HOW is run solely on charitable donations, and the staff are unpaid. All donations go directly to helping children of Vietnam. HOW works in several orphanages in Ho Chi Minh City and provides food, education, and vocational training to disabled children. HOW's volunteer staff now focus on raising awareness, especially epidermolysis bullosa, or EB, a rare genetic disorder that makes victims children living with EB by providing medical supplies and education, so they are cared for properly.
Hello, welcome to this edition of Talk Vietnam. Inspiring and being inspired by others are the true rewards for help, according to co-founder Hillary Joy Brown. Since 2007, this woman has devoted her time and energy to ensuring that every penny donated goes to children in need. It's a privilege to have Hillary here with us to share her stories. Hillary Joy Brown, welcome to Talk Vietnam.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you tell me about an example of one of your first days here, what you did and how you helped the kids?
Well, when I first came, I went to see several different orphanages, and I actually came empty-handed because I don't believe in handing out candy, and I wanted them just to meet me, and I wanted to meet them, and so they wondered the first time the kids were wondering, what did you bring us? What did you bring us? What do you have? And I had a little box of Tic Tacs and little mints, and I'm like, I love this, and they're all like, no, they actually weren't like this. I felt that they were thinking, cheap lady, you know? But we passed one out to each of the kids, and it was an orphan, a center with children that are deaf and mute, and they were delighted. So that, first of all, won my heart. And then they sang to me, and I can sign a little bit. So I was able to sign with them, and that was my first really, you know, when they were so happy with that little bit of candy that I had, but they didn't expect it. I felt like they did, and I thought, why didn't I bring something? But so that was the first really good experience with the children.
So your organization, Helping Orphans Worldwide, or HOW, is currently working on various projects in Vietnam. So can you tell me what those other projects are?
We started the Starfish program where we would help to raise funds for people with all different types of diseases, disorders, disabilities, and heart disease with you know, heart surgery, and cleft palate or moi, and cleft lip, and then other things like omphalocele, which is where all of the insides are born outside. There's many different things that were coming along, and we started this program, and we found Mr. Dat and I, actually, who you'll meet later, but we found children that were calling and finding out about us from everywhere, and we started to think, okay, how can we make this sustainable? What can we do to, after they get the surgery, make sure that their lives are better? And we came up with a scholarship. We're going to give them scholarships, and we want to put them through school, make sure they get education, and we still have that. But in the midst of that developed the EB program. So we have both, but we're focusing more on EB, which we can talk about later, epidermolysis bullosa. And that's part of the Starfish program. And then we have the Education for Life program. We have tutors that we'll talk about later again, Free Hugs Vietnam. But we have four groups, so 52 of them, split up in groups of 8 to 10, who will go after working, after school, and sit with each child. We have 27 children at the orphanage right now, yes. Eventually the program for Education for Life, we will introduce English, typing, and then we're working with Orphan Impact, which is another great charity here, to teach computer classes in Vietnamese, that to come full circle and have those children also help to educate the younger ones. And so that's how we're motivating them.
Yeah. Volunteers play a big role in how activities. Let's visit an evening class at the Bình Triệu Center and see how Hillary Brown and the volunteers are helping the orphans here.
The Bình Triệu Center is located in Binh Chánh district on the outskirts of Ho Chi Minh City. The center houses 7 nuns who care for 27 orphans. Once a week, how volunteers visit the center to teach the orphans. Nguyễn Mạnh Khánh Thương is a senior at Ho Chi Minh International University. Thương has been volunteering at the center since November 2012.
Mình thấy rất là vui tại các em nó rất là chào đón mình giống như là cái gia đình của mình vậy đó. Thì các em không biết gì thì các em hỏi mình, mà mình không biết gì thì mình cũng hỏi các em, trò chuyện với các em thì cảm thấy rất là vui giống như là một cái gia đình.
To the boys and girls of the center, the volunteers are not only their teachers but also their brothers and sisters.
Điểm cao con rất vui và anh chị cũng vui tính, anh chị dạy nhiều. Những điều các anh chị dạy con là không được đánh bạn, không được đánh nhau và học thật tốt để các anh chị vui.
During their time with Hao, the volunteers have been inspired to continue the work by Hillary.
Em cảm nhận được là cô làm việc là không phải vì một cái lợi ích gì cá nhân, mà em thấy là cô làm vì tất cả các em ở đây cảm thấy rất là có tâm và tử tế.
Em thật sự rất là trân trọng những cái gì mà một người nước ngoài có thể là hoàn toàn xa lạ với những người châu Á như là người Việt Nam, mà lại đến đây và giúp đỡ một cách không chỉ đơn giản là bỏ tiền ra để cho đi, mà còn thực sự là tạo ra một cái hệ thống, một cái đội nhóm để có thể giúp đỡ một cách lâu dài. Thì em cảm thấy điều đó thực sự rất là đáng quý và đáng trân trọng và học hỏi.
Hao currently has 70 Vietnamese volunteers, all of whom are students. It is also supported by foreign volunteers as well. The Hao volunteer team has been with the Bình Triệu Center since February 2012.
So can you tell me a little bit about the children at the Bình Triệu Center? How did you feel when you met them?
When I met them, I was delighted. I mean, you know, they're so lovely, and then you sit down and spend time with each one of them, and they're inspiring because you know, when you see how they just want to learn and they want to improve, and their writing's beautiful and they care about what they're doing, they inspire me to, you know, want to, you know, continue with what I do.
So now you've got 52 local volunteers, yeah? And how did you recruit them?
Well, actually, they found us, Free Hugs Vietnam. In the beginning, that we came out and we interviewed them. We're really strict, you know. They're volunteering, but we are asking them to make a 1-year commitment, and we ask them to fill out a huge application, and we have one optional question. Tell me something funny about yourself. And if they don't answer that, we don't even look at them.
Wow!
Because we want them to go the extra mile. So as the years have gone through with Free Hugs, we've seen that their answers, in the beginning, the answers were, I want to work with Westerners, or I want to get my English better, or, you know, work on my English and improve my English. And now the answers are, I'm very lucky to have in my life, and I've seen all the work that's gone on with all the other How and Free Hugs volunteers, and I want to be part of these children's lives, and I want to be their mentor and big sister. I want to help them, and you know, and then I really tell them, you know, this is a 1-year commitment, because these children have been through a lot, and you cannot come into their life for a month. It's not a fun little thing to do. It's serious. They're going to depend on you, so you have to show up once a week. And if you're going to go somewhere for school or for work, you can explain to them that because you studied so hard, and because, you know, you're going to inspire them.
Yeah.
And then they will understand that, and you always have to come back and explain to them what, you know, what happened and what's gone on. And so we kind of guide them, and then we turn it over and they make
let them be the leaders.
Yes, they lead and they manage, and they are all amazing, every one of them. And then we also have volunteers that are from abroad that, you know, again, they raise funds and they come here, and those funds go to help the children. So they work together, but the Free Hugs volunteers are working all year.
Cô thật sự là dành tình cảm nhiều cho trẻ em mồ côi, và điều đó cũng là truyền cảm hứng cho em một phần. Và cá nhân em thì em cũng rất thích làm công tác từ thiện.
Bài học mà em nhận được là cho đến thời điểm này là đối với em làm tình nguyện không chỉ đơn giản là bỏ tiền ra hay là bỏ những cái vật chất ra, mà mình còn cho đi tấm lòng, cho đi công sức của mình một cách lâu dài chứ không phải là nhất thời. Đó là điều mà em học được, em cảm thấy có giá trị từ Hillary và cô Hillary và tổ chức How.
Cô luôn dặn các tình nguyện viên là hạn chế khuyến khích các em bằng kẹo, bằng bánh, bởi vì nó không có tốt cho răng của các em á. Em học được từ cô Hillary đó là sự quan tâm. Cô quan tâm đến những em bé, rồi quan tâm đến các bạn tình nguyện viên, từng cái nhỏ nhặt thôi, nhưng mà qua đó thì cảm thấy cô là một người rất là nhân đạo, rất là thương người.
Can you tell me a little bit about your volunteers, and can you give me some examples of the volunteers that you have inspired?
Yeah, we've got great, our volunteers are amazing, every one of them. Chip Nguyen, who started Free Hugs Vietnam, is probably my favorite story, because when I met her, she was, I believe, 17, and she contacted How. She started Free Hugs, but when I met her, when I spoke to her on the phone and on Facebook and Skype, she seemed really, you know, confident. But when I met her and we got to know each other and spent time together, you know, she would come to me and we would have long talks about, you know, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't feel confident. I'm not sure, and I can't do this. And I asked her, "What is your dream?" And she said, "Well, she thought about it for a while, you know, I'm not sure." And then she said, my real dream, if I had one, would be to write a book, but I'll never do that. And I said, "You will? What do you mean you won't do that?" You know, so we talked, and I said, "You can, Chip, look what you've done with Free Hugs and all of these people and helping us, and, you know, you can do anything you want to do." And she told me, you know, "Really? No one's ever told me that. I've never heard that." And she just wrote a book. And she traveled the world and was given money up front, and, you know, we talk all the time, and she's just an amazing person. She's one. There's many stories, but I'll give you another example. Nhan, who became the Free Hugs president after, they change every few years because obviously they go off after they're in school and do their jobs, but Nhan was the Free Hugs president, and she helped me so much. And the same thing, she was studying in RMIT, going to school at RMIT, and she came to me and she said, "You know, there's a scholarship that from the Intel has, and I can't do it. There's 500 people that are applying. They're only going to pick like 20 or 25 or something small, and I can't do that." I said, and then again, same conversation. I said, "Why can't you? Are so smart. Look at your grades. Why would you not go for that? You can get this." And, you know, we talked, and we, you know, I become friends with everyone because, you know, they help so much and they're with me. And so we talked, and so I don't take credit for any of these two girls for what they've done at all, because they've done it, but just some pushing and reminding them about how smart they are and how they can achieve anything. And now she won a scholarship. I think she got the top 3 or 2.
She has inspired me to be a strong woman and dauntless passion and wholehearted soul, I am thrilled and excited to be a part of her wonderful journey. House volunteers are not able to make a difference for all of our children in need, but making a significant difference for any individual we are able to approach is our mission. Frankly, Hillary has inspired me to believe in her and count on her work and passion. Hillary's dedication and big heart set her apart from the rest. She's not just a foreigner helping kids from a developing country. She's a caretaker, a friend, a sister, and sometimes a mom.
So what has made you the most proud after all that you've accomplished for the kids in Vietnam?
I'm proud to be a part of this. I mean, I am just a very small part of HOW. HOW is like a huge, giant mountain. I'm proud to be that. I'm proud to know all of these volunteers and to and their hopes and grow, and I'm proud to be a small part of that. I feel like that it makes me feel very happy and proud to be part of something that is working with so many amazing people.
Yeah. Was there any moment that you wanted to, when you felt like you want to give up?
A lot of times if a child dies, it's very difficult for me. And there's been one example is there was a little guy, I call him Sugar, and we worked very hard to help to find volunteer doctors and great Vietnamese doctors that repaired his heart. He has really very bad congenital heart disease. So he was taken care of, and he had his surgery, and he lives 8 hours away, and he came every 3 months, and he was checked on. He was doing great, and he just got home, and then when he got back to his hometown, he got a chest infection, not from his heart was fine, but he had gone to the doctor, it was night, and he had gone to the local doctor, and they had no oxygen, and he died. So when I got the call about that he died, I was on the phone with my husband, and I said, I just can't do it anymore. At the same time, in that morning, there was a gal that we've been working on for a facial surgery with Face the Challenge, another charity in America that does facial surgeries, and her name is Kim Huang, and she had been in and out of hospitals and doctors so many times, but nobody could operate on her, and the orphanage said, this is it, this is her last time, so it's now or never, and they agreed to do the surgery. And a friend of mine from Portland introduced me to this guy, Steve, that knew her, and he brought her here, and he said, Hillary, she's petrified of doctors, she's scared of, she won't talk to you, she is, freaked out about everything. So when Sarah, another HOW board member from Australia, and I met her at the restaurant, we gave her some angels that were donated from this great little angel hugs that we give to the children to make them feel calm. So she had 2 angels, and we actually got her a little angel dress that was made, so she could look like we wanted her to know that you're in good hands, we're here for you, And so they were in the hospital, all settled in, and you don't leave the hospital. You're just going in for surgery. So when I got the call about Sugar dying, and I just told my husband, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm not helping. And how it was just whatever. I was just that was one of those down times. And then right when I said that to him, there was a knock at the door, and I opened the door, and there she is with her 2 angels and her little wings, and I told my husband, hold on, and she dropped the angels, and she jumped up and put her arms around me and hugged me and kissed me, and and that was like a lifesaver. That was a saver. So
so she put back the
she
belief
just saved
in
me,
you.
and it happens all the time, right when I'm feeling like that, or I feel like, if something happens, there's situations that just come at the right time to just
bring back the faith.
Yeah, that remind me, you're not leaving. You have to continue.
Keep going. For nearly 4 years now, Hillary has relied on a special Vietnamese friend to deliver help to the children in need. Let's find out who we're talking about.
brought you some laundry.
Each week, instead of sending her laundry to a dry cleaners, she brings her clothes to be washed at the house of her close Vietnamese friend, one she often calls Mr. Đạt.
Cái thời gian mà chị nghỉ thì cũng không có rồi. Phương Chi là làm sao là giặt đồ, mà khi mà đưa đi giặt đồ ấy thì ít nhất thì cũng phải 100.000 một lần. 100.000 thì bây giờ cũng được là 5-6 ký gạo. Ít các em thì được bữa mà đông các em thì được nửa bữa. Tôi nghĩ vậy. Thì tôi cũng bảo với ông xã tôi là thôi mình đưa về mình giặt đi. Thứ nhất rằng là mình giặt rồi mình cho cái phần tiết kiệm cho chị Hillary. Cái thứ hai nữa đó là mình không có tiền thì mình góp cái công ở đấy.
Hillary got to know Mr. Đạt when she asked him to translate her conversation with a taxi driver. She wanted the driver to take her to Dong Nai province to deliver rice to an orphanage. Back then, Mr. Đạt had been a motorbike driver, come tour guide for backpackers for 20 years. He was touched by Hillary's goodwill, and he even asked his wife to help Hillary out.
Mùa Noel á, cô Hillary yêu cầu các em xin quà đó, thì cô Hillary lấy một cái danh sách, cũng như là 50-70 em nhà đó đại khái, thì viết tên ra em bé này bao nhiêu tuổi, em bé này trai gái bao nhiêu tuổi, cân nặng bao nhiêu ký thì mới làm được. Biết số cân của các em, biết số tuổi xong rồi về đưa cho bà xã. Bà xã đi chợ không phải đi ban ngày nó mắc lắm, đi ban đêm, cái tầm 9-10 giờ là người ta cũng như ế rồi đó, bắt đầu bà xã ra chợ Sớm Chiếu á, rồi lục ban đêm mua nó rẻ hơn.
Mr. Đạt is Hillary's greatest supporter in all of Howe's charitable activities.
Mr. Đạt and his wife and his family are all just have gone so far out of their way. They're a second family to me. Mr. Đạt himself has done above and beyond anything I could imagine. If I need anything at all, translating, for him to take me anywhere. We've driven 17-hour days on the back of a motorbike looking for children. He never complains. They always are looking out for the children, and they care as much about the children as everyone at Howe does. And you know, they feel it in their heart, and they're genuine, amazing people. I could not do what I do, and Howe could not exist without them. That's for sure.
After a quick lunch, Hillary and Mr. Đạt are on the road again. They bring medicine, gauze, cotton balls, and above all, their sincere hearts to children in need.
Chào chú Đạt ạ, chú là người biết rõ tất cả những em bé Việt Nam mà cô Hillary đã từng giúp đỡ. Thì chú có thể kể cho cháu một vài chuyện mà về những em bé đấy không ạ?
Cái câu chuyện thứ nhất là em bé Tuấn Anh á, là khi mà biết được em bé Tuấn Anh á, là một cái trường hợp rất là hy hữu. Lúc đó là một cái tờ báo công an á, đăng lên một cái hình có chút xíu à, em bé Tuấn Anh mà khi mà sinh ra lại bị bẩm sinh ruột lòi ra ngoài.
Vâng.
Thì vô tình một cái người nào đó cho cổ cái tờ báo đó, khi mà đọc cái tin đó là cổ quyết định đi đến đó, mà từ ở Sài Gòn mà lên đó là 120 cây số, Định Quán, mà từ ở Định Quán mà đi vô trong thôn 5, thôn 6, vô trong vùng sâu vùng xa, khi mà vô tìm được cái ông trưởng ấp á là hết 1 giờ trưa rồi, cũng chưa tìm được. Thì sau này mới nhờ người ta đi kêu ổng ra, thì ổng nói bây giờ cái gia đình này á không còn ở đây nữa.
Vâng.
Người ta về lại Suối Nho, là về bên mẹ vợ ở Suối Nho. Bắt đầu xe lại đi vòng về Suối Nho hết 1 tiếng mấy nè, coi như là gần 3 giờ mới gặp cái em bé đó. Thì cái em bé đó khi mà cô Hillary cô gặp được rồi á, cái cảm giác đầu tiên mà chú có nguyện vọng gia đình chú giúp cho cổ là người Việt Nam mà nó cũng ít người nào mà làm được. Khi mà gặp em bé rồi, em bé đang nằm ở dưới đất á, mà cổ quỳ xuống cổ bế lên, cổ hung, cổ phải nói cũng như là coi như là người ruột thịt của mình vậy đó.
Vâng.
Rồi cổ mới hỏi gia đình, chú dịch lại á ăn uống thiếu thốn cái gì là cô mua, cô cho gạo, sữa, mắm, muối, đường, bột ngọt, dầu ăn, tất cả các cái, rồi mới đem em bé đó lên nhi đồng 1.
Vâng.
Đem em bé đó nhi đồng 1, sau đó là bác sĩ người ta nói còn bé quá, mới có 2-3 tháng chưa có mổ được, bây giờ phải về ăn uống là dinh dưỡng là 6 tháng sau mới lên mổ.
Vâng.
Thì khi mà khám xong rồi cô Hillary cô mới mua sữa cho Tuấn Anh đó, là 6 tháng sữa chất đầy một chiếc xe taxi luôn. Chú nhớ là khoảng cỡ gần 12 triệu đó, cái tiền sữa không á.
Vâng.
Chất đầy chiếc taxi 4 chỗ rồi chở Tuấn Anh về. Rồi á, trong thời gian mà Tuấn Anh về nhà rồi đó, là cứ mỗi 3 ngày á, là cô Hillary nói với chú là gia đình á, liên lạc em bé tình hình như thế nào,
Vâng.
liên lạc thường xuyên luôn.
Vâng.
Cho đến khi mà cổ mời được một cái ông bác sĩ nước ngoài á, ở bên Ireland á, qua mổ cho bé Tuấn Anh. Thì cái cuộc mổ rất là thành công. Nhưng mà không biết về sau đó, về cái kỹ thuật mà bị tiêm cái gì á, thì em bé mất. Thì cái đó là chú buồn ở đó, mà gia đình cũng buồn á.
Từ những gì chú biết về cô Hillary thì chú thấy cô ấy là người như thế nào ạ?
Lúc nào á, cô cũng suy nghĩ là tại vì bây giờ là cái kinh tế bây giờ mà nó bị khủng hoảng á, nó rớt xuống rất là thấp. Ở Việt Nam mình á, là cổ bắt đầu ngủ á, là có thể 6 rưỡi, 7 giờ, 7 rưỡi, cổ ngủ khoảng 4 tiếng thôi. 11 giờ đêm hoặc 12 giờ midnight là cổ dậy. Cổ làm việc cho tới sáng ngày hôm sau, rồi bình thường là tới 7 giờ tối cổ ngủ lại để cổ xin tiền. Tại vì cái tâm nguyện của cô đó, theo như chú biết á, lúc nào cũng ưu tiên hàng đầu cho em bé. Là cổ nghĩ là không biết là cổ còn tiếp tục cái cuộc hành trình mà để xin tiền mà tài trợ cho những cái máy ấm, những cái em bé vậy không. Trong tương lai rồi nó như thế nào, cổ có làm đều đặn được như vậy không. Cổ rất là lo lắng. Có một lần á, chú với cô Hillary với bà xã chú á, đi đến một cái nơi là cái em bé Tuấn Anh á, cái ruột bẩm sinh lòi ra ngoài á.
Vâng.
Thì vô tình trên cái chuyến xe đó đi á, là cổ gặp một cái đám ma của người Việt Nam.
Vâng.
Thì cổ nói với chú nếu mà mốt mà cổ chết á, thì đừng có chôn như vậy, tốn phí tiền lắm. Cổ chết là cứ thiêu tại Việt Nam này, rồi dục ở bờ sông hay dưới suối gì cũng được hết. Cái tiền đó để dành cho em bé, tại vì cổ thương em bé Việt Nam lắm.
Vâng.
Đó.
Vâng.
Thành thử trên cái chuyến đi mà lên tìm Tuấn Anh á, thì mình lúc đó mình lại thấy cái trái tim của cô này quá là thương các em. Thành thử chú nghĩ có cái chuyện đó thì cô chú quyết định cũng như là mình làm được một cái gì nhỏ bé để mình giúp cho cổ. Bởi cổ là người nước ngoài.
Vâng.
Cái tâm của cô Hillary đó là tôi đi làm chung với cổ, tôi biết cổ rất là thương em bé lắm. Cái điều đầu tiên mà vô một cái máy ấm á, là cổ luôn luôn hỏi tôi Mr. Đạt, ở đây nè, cái người bảo mẫu làm sao, cho các em ăn uống làm sao, giờ giấc làm sao, chỗ nghỉ ngơi như thế nào, có ổn định hay là không. Thành thử không phải mà cô hỏi một lần, bất cứ lần nào vô cổ cũng đều kiểm tra đó. Nếu mà có một cái gì mà trục trặc nhỏ là cổ sẽ nói, tôi nói với cái người mà đại diện ở bảo mẫu đó là phải sửa lại thế này thế kia. Cổ theo như tôi biết là cổ rất là thương các em. Cái em bé mà bé Huy á, cái bệnh EB á, tiếng Việt kêu là ly thượng bì bóng nước á. Cái em bé nó nếu mà thật sự nếu mà mình là người Việt Nam á, mình là người Việt Nam mà mình nhìn vô á, là mình sợ nó bị lây qua mình. Thường mình nhìn nó 10 người hết 9 người sợ bị lây rồi. Chỉ là thương tội nghiệp với cái ánh mắt thôi. Nhưng mà cô Hillary không có. Cổ đi vô nhà, cổ khum xuống, cổ ôm, cổ hung rất là nhiều lần chứ không phải một lần nha.
cháu được biết là cô Hillary đã dành dụm từng đồng để giúp các em. Chú có thể nói rõ hơn cho cháu một chút không ạ?
Cô cũng từng nói với chú mà, ví dụ như cổ hà tiện được ngày hôm nay 50.000,
Vâng.
thì mua được 2,5 kg gạo, đúng không? 1 kg 20.000, 2 kg là 40, 2,5 kg là 50.000. Chú thường ở một tuần lễ đó là chú đi mua xôi á, là sticky rice cho cô Hillary ăn á, một tuần lễ là 3 ngày. Một gói xôi 5.000 cô ăn no tới trưa, là cái ngày đó không có tốn gì hết, chỉ tốn nước suối thôi. Rồi chiều tối cô mới ăn, cô ăn chay, cô ăn rau muống hay là rau cải vậy thôi. Là một tuần lễ cô ăn 3 lần. Thành thử là 3 lần, thay vì 3 lần ăn sáng của cổ là hết khoảng, ví dụ như 150 đi. 135.000 đúng không? Thì đó, theo như chú biết á, là cái vấn đề tiết kiệm của cổ này. Quán bình dân có nhiều khi chú Đạt với cô á, trên đường đi làm như ở đi định quán bằng xe Honda luôn, đi về 200 mấy chục cây số, thì trưa không đói bụng ghé vô cái quán cơm bình dân á, vô chú với cô Hillary ăn khoảng chừng 60.000, 62.000. Ăn cơm, cổ ăn cơm cá, chú ăn cơm sườn thí dụ đi, rồi 2 ly trà đá là 62, 63.000 là xong cái bữa trưa. Đó là chú thường ăn như vậy. Thành thử cổ rất là tiết kiệm trong cái vấn đề đó, để tiền cho các em. Chẳng hạn như cổ nó thường nói chú ăn vậy dư được một hộp kem đánh răng, 36.000 hộp kem đánh răng cho em bé. Mình không ăn phung phí, thì thường là làm như vậy. Bây giờ có khi tuần lễ 2 ngày, 3 ngày ăn xôi.
Cháu cảm ơn chú Đạt đã đến với chương trình và chia sẻ những câu chuyện đầy xúc động ạ.
Không có gì.
I hope these stories that Mr. Dad has just shared with us convey the ways in which Hillary and her organization has helped the disadvantaged kids here in Vietnam. As Mr. Dad said, Hillary devotes her whole heart to helping the kids in need. For nearly 6 years now, she's been doing all she can to help ease the pain the children are in. Just like Huy, a child you will meet in the next report. These children suffer from epidermolysis bullosa, or EB, a rare genetic skin disease that causes the skin to be so fragile that the slightest friction can cause severe blistering and inside and outside of the body.
Once every 10 days, Hillary and Dad bring medical supplies to Huy and tend to his wounds. Huy will be 14 years old this year, and he is Đoàn Thị Tuyết Nhung's only child. Huy has been diagnosed with epidermolysis bullosa, or EB, a rare condition that makes his skin extremely fragile and prone to peeling off. His mother has to spend 3 to 5 hours each day replacing his dressings.
Nhờ cổ giúp sức thì gia đình thì cũng đỡ. Lúc gặp cổ thì cổ giúp cho bông băng với lại sữa. Rồi những lúc đi bệnh viện thì chi phí thì cổ tài trợ lo hết. Băng thì một tháng khoảng 9-10 triệu. Thì bây giờ cổ giúp thì cũng hết là 6-7 triệu trong đó. Dạ, là một tháng. Rồi sữa nữa. Sữa coi như là hết thì cổ mua tới là cho uống sữa Ansu.
Hui's life has changed ever since he met Hillary. She has provided him with the support and care that usually only a mother can give to a child.
Lúc mà con chưa gặp cổ thì lúc mà con chưa có băng đó, con nằm giống như nãy con nói con bị gỉ ướt á, cái xong rồi cổ gặp cổ thấy giờ cổ cho con băng. Với lại lúc chưa gặp cổ con không có được chiên máu, rồi gặp cổ có mỗi lần con hết máu là con được chiên. Lúc mà con được cô á đẩy vô, tại vì nó chưa có phòng, cái cổ quạt cho con hoài mà cổ tội nghiệp lắm. Mẹ giật cái quạt lại, mẹ không cho cổ quạt, tại sao cổ mỏi tay mà cổ giật lại thì cổ không cho, cổ cũng gán quạt cho con. Con biết cổ mỏi tay luôn mà cổ không chịu, không buông ra. Lại con lên phòng luôn, cổ mới mới chịu đi chỗ khác hiến máu. Cô thì đối với con giống như là một phụ tá.
Today, Hao is sponsoring taxi fare for another family whose child has EB. The child's name is Hoi, a 13-month-old boy from Tiền Giang province in the Mekong Delta. The family will go to Ho Chi Minh City to learn how to care for Huy, the teacher, Huy's mother.
Mới sinh ra thì hai chân bé không có da. Bắt đầu từ 2 tháng cho tới bây giờ là toàn thuốc của bác sĩ Mai Trâm, chú Đẹp với cô Hillary gửi không. Cô Hillary đối với lại bác Huy, đối với nhà em cũng giống như là một người mẹ vậy. Nếu mà không có cái hội từ thiện á, thì bác Huy chắc không tốt như bây giờ. Nếu mà em hết cái gì á thì em nhắn tin lên thì cô Mai Trâm với chú Đẹp sẽ gửi về cho em.
Apart from caring for 3 children with EB from Ho Chi Minh City and the Mekelle Delta, Hillary often sends medical supplies and donations to 34 children suffering from the same condition in Hanoi. Hao has been helping children with EB for 3 years now.
How have you managed to help him so far?
Well, Hao has been able to help him by actually a lot of ways. We've some really interesting ways. We've helped with his medical needs, and he's had several blood transfusions. I think 5 this year, 4 or 5 transfusions this year, which we need to put an end to. But all of his wound care and helping with his nutrition, which is the reason that we are trying to put an end to the transfusions, because we're able to bring nutrition to him, and we're trying to, we brought some things that were donated from America that have vitamins and minerals and, all of the things the body needs to heal. And we kind of did a little experiment to see if it would work, and it worked wonderfully. So the education is not only on nutrition, very important, but also on that this is a genetic disorder. So if your child is born with EB, then, there are tests that can be done. So there's education in nutrition. It's really important that they learn, and we can help with that. We want to help with that. We're here to help with that. So it costs a lot of money to put together, a nutritionally sound diet, but we will help with that. And then, as long as people are starting to understand that that's how a body will heal, we really want to push that, because getting new blood does not, it's not the answer. It's not the answer, no.
And also, when you say it's a genetic disorder, you also mean if one child in the family already has EB, would that also mean that the next child will also have the disease?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. The genes, there's several types of EB. I think there's 5 types, and I can't name them all off. I'm not a doctor, but the genes can be way back from the grandparents, great-grandparents, but if both parents have the gene, then there's a higher percentage. But there is a test that can be done before. It's quite expensive, but we will also help with that if it's a parent that's already had, a family that's already had a child with EB. So we're trying to work out, hopefully with other organizations that will help us do these tests for less money, since we are so small. But it's important that the parents get tested, and if they have a child with EB, because it's so expensive, it can cost up to, without the transfusion, like around $250 a month only for the wound care. So that's in Vietnam. In America, it can cost $5,000 a month, so depending on where you live. But if you have one child with EB, we really hope that you can take care of that child, and we want to help. So the test would be really important if you're thinking about expanding your family.
And why do you care so much for these children?
That's a very difficult question for me to ask. They need help. They need a voice. And it's, when you say these children, all children, so I can't be everywhere, but I am here, and I'm dedicated to Vietnam and helping the children in Vietnam. And I care because I really, it's in my genes. I just do. Whatever I am doing, I'm 100%. And it's always been around helping people, and I'm not a saint by any means, but it's genuine, and it's actually quite selfish what I do, because it brings me a lot of joy when I can see that what Hao is doing, or what's happening, and a child is getting help, or children are being educated, or people are being educated, and we're helping to the children with EB, and it's very selfish. I get a lot out of it, truly. I mean, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So it's not just, you know, because I'm some wonderful person. I'm telling you the truth.
Would you mind telling me a little bit about your own family, your husband and your children?
Yeah, my husband is an amazing, he's the silent hero. He works, like me, we both are workaholics, we work a lot. He works 17-hour days, and I see him twice a year, and he supports me 100% in my work. You know, when I'm having a down day or a happy day, or it's the middle of the night, or he's in a meeting and I Skype him, you know, he's there for me. He understands, and he fundraises, and he's on our board, and he sacrifices a lot because, you know, he
doesn't get to see you.
Well, which might be a gift, but just kidding. No, but we talk every day several times, and he does sacrifice a lot, and he's actually talked about maybe we should just he should retire and we should move to Vietnam, but we've got other family. We've got 2 children, and I've got 6 brothers and my mom and dad, and I've got a son that's 29 that's you know, obviously has taken care of himself for quite some time, and he actually gives funds, donates funding for the children, and a really wonderful child, of course. I'm very proud of him, and a wonderful daughter that's 22 that is in school, that's put herself in, is paying for her own university, and she's working, and she is a photographer, and she also, you know, spreads the word. They're both very supportive. My family, my 6 brothers and mom and dad, and my nephew also, who is 15 and has autism, has been volunteering with me since he was 5. He's designed our website and donated his time until now because he's got a girlfriend. But he's done so much. So my whole family is all very, very supportive and amazing.
So your desire to help has contaminated your whole family.
Or maybe they are. I think they've all got it, and they all feel the same because, like I said, I'm adopted, and then we're adopted. So I think we all understand that, you know, we need to give back.
Yeah. Hillary, can you tell me what has been your happiest moment since you've started working with the kids here in Vietnam?
My happiest moments would probably be watching the change in the children with their, from when we met them, with their dreams and their hopes. When we started, we'd ask them, what are your dreams? And they'd say, you know, I want to cook, or I want, which is great, they're all great jobs, or I want to work in a restaurant. But now their dreams have changed because of the volunteers inspiring them and them seeing, you know, what they can do and getting educated. Now their dreams are, I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to have a charity, or they're like, I'm a lawyer, and so I can help children. And so I think that makes me the happiest, to see in the short period of time that we have been here, to see the changes in the children, and that they do have hopes and dreams, and they're, you know, doing better in school. They're doing, you know, they're achieving. They know what they have to do to get to those dreams, and I think that brings me a lot of happiness.
What does happiness mean to you after all this?
Seeing smiles on the children's faces, and the families, and, you know, and seeing that those adoptions take place. I mean, I can't say what is happiness. Happiness is seeing success, which is, you know, a happy ending or a happy beginning. You know, really a happy beginning. So that will hopefully continue on.
Thank you so much, Hillary, for all that you've done for the disadvantaged kids here in Vietnam. And thank you for inspiring the young volunteers who've lent a helping hand to the kids. Please accept my warmest wishes for all your future endeavors.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. It's been really wonderful to be here. I appreciate it.
And that's it for today's edition of Talk Vietnam. I hope you feel inspired too. I'm Ola Ding. Until next time, goodbye for now.